So we're joined today by Joe and Callum of Big Special, a band who've been making waves, released their debut album last year. Huge response to it, outstanding reviews for a great album.
Nice one.
Guys, welcome.
How you going? How you going?
Yeah,
Thanks for having us, man. What an intro.
Cheers. Well, it's very
it's
much.
that.
It's a special day coming up for you in the next couple of weeks. 1 year anniversary of the release of your album.
Yeah,
How
it's
does
mad.
that feel?
We literally only realised this like a few days ago. You was at
Yeah,
the pub
yeah,
and you
yeah.
went, "Oh shit, it's been a year, isn't it?"
Yeah, man. Really, so it's like it's just been. Yeah, we didn't even realise, but it's cool, man. Yeah, it's mad to think been the maddest year of our life and our biggest achievement and proudest moment and that, and it's nice to see it all finally paying off.
Yeah, fucking really happy, man. And I think like as the years gone on and we've been gigging it so much, it's if anything, it's made us grow more attached to the album. Like the more we've seen the impact it's had in like our fans' lives, how we're not working jobs anymore. You know what I mean? We owe a hell of a lot to that album. We'd spent a lot of time working on it, and it was a hard graft to make and that. But now the response has been absolutely amazing, man. We're really over the moon with it.
Brilliant. And the album itself, now that it's been out there for a year, when you look back at the content, the tracks themselves, what are your thoughts?
Right, man. Like saying, like just proud of it still. It's still that was written at a time and other time personally, and that's all completely changed now. But it's what got us here, and we're still we haven't stopped playing them songs. We ain't stopped playing that album, and so it's all still very like fresh and relevant to us. And yeah, just feel grateful of it, man. It's mad that little bunch of songs has changed our life, and we're making a living there doing our thing, and we can we'll always be grateful for that. You know what I mean? Like
Cool.
that's the win in it. If you can do that, and it's all thanks to that album.
Brilliant. And you took
Yeah,
the decision to release a deluxe version of it earlier this year. What prompted that?
It's we've all desperate for attention. Yeah, we've always been a little bit adverse to deluxe albums. When someone puts out an album and then immediately puts out a version which has just got like one little piddly extra thing on it. And this album, making it took a long time, and we'd managed to collect all these demos along the way. And over the year of touring it, we'd met so many cool musicians and people we really respected, people we'd looked up to for a long time. And they were all so blown away with it and so, keen to be a part of the project that we had all these remixes made as well. We didn't really have to push too hard for it. A lot of creatives are really keen to get behind it. And
yeah, it's fun.
It's sort of and our sound guy, Stu, he's always recording live gigs or wherever we go. So we've got loads and loads and loads of audio from all over the globe. And I think the label suggested it initially, and we were a bit off put by the idea. But then once we actually thought about it, we were like, we could give like a real deeper insight to this album through a deluxe. We could actually put out something a bit more. It's not like your classic, cheap rip-off deluxe.
Yeah, it's like the same amount of time again, on the album and that, and you got the extra tune with John Grant and stuff, and so I thought, well, if we do deluxe, like let's do, let's put a load of stuff on it, you know what I mean?
Let's do it proper.
Yeah.
And it also gave a taste of you performing live. A couple of tracks on there, live tracks. You mentioned that your sound guy records stuff all the time for you when you perform. And you've got a tour coming up with Pixies, and part of that tour you're hitting Manchester, playing at the Apollo in a few weeks' time.
Yeah.
What for people who aren't that familiar with your live performance, what would you tell them to expect?
Expect the unexpected.
Expect the unexpected. Two very eager, probably very tired, very loud Midlanders being aggressively emotional in front of you on stage is probably it's probably just on a pure bass level what to expect.
Really good. Yeah, I really like Aggressively emotional.
Aggressively emotional Midlanders on stage who are very keen for you to hear what the fuck we have to say.
Yeah.
Brilliant. What's going through your mind while you're on stage, Ben?
For,
Say
I
that
mean,
again.
What's going through your minds while you're on stage?
Don't fuck up. Don't forget the words. Don't fall over. Get through the other side, and then it feels nice then.
yeah, it's one of them strange things. It's like it's almost like entering a bit of a transient state, and it like you don't think about it until after. Like
Yeah.
some of the biggest gigs we've done, I can't remember a single moment on stage. I just remember seeing the footage after and being like, "Oh yeah, that was me. I was there."
I think the brain goes into like a photo like thing a bit like, as in like if we were in nature, if we were like an animal in nature, like in the woods, we was like a little squirrel, and then like 450 other woodland creatures went, go on then, do something. Like you want to like fight or run off, you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
you're doing something you want to do and it's all good, but like I think sometimes the brain and the body's still like, oh shit, like this is like, but we weren't designed to be looked at by this many people at once.
No, full of. That's funny that.
And in the run up to it, this tour you're supporting Pixies, you've also recently done headline gig in London. You've got headline tours behind you. You've got festival dates coming up. How do you prepare for the different types and sort of hone in on the set list as well? Because all of those gigs vary substantially.
Yeah, man. But, proper like our ethos with that sort of stuff though is that like is we play to each other, and it's about just we're aware there's only two of us and that on the track, so we just try and fill whatever space we've been put in and play to each other, egg each other on, and if there's 5 people or 5,000, like they've still paid for a show and we should give them one, like so. So we just power through now. Like we used to adjust the set list more and more for like types of audiences and that, whereas now, I think we've like just like honed in a bit more on like what we're doing that and feel like a bit more confident. Like to just we have a couple of different versions of the set list for like length, the lengths of shows and stuff. But just do our thing now, man, and just keep hoping it's good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You
Brilliant.
can't really. We realised we don't want to adapt as much as like we maybe when we first started out. We were like, oh, we've got to play the calm songs at this gig because the audience seems calmer. And
Yeah,
we've realised it's all rubbish. Our job is to come up and be big special every night. So
yeah, that's a function band's job, and you got to fit the function. But we ain't at a function now. We're at a gig, like people are coming to see a band, so we've got to just show them what the band is, I suppose.
yeah,
Brilliant.
definitely.
Now, the end of the tour, what are your plans? I know you've been writing recently for your next release. Can you tell us anything about that, where that's up to?
We're doing
Yeah.
pretty well, Yeah, we're
Working a lot, been busy boys, busy.
busy bees, buzzing away in the hive. Yeah, we actually managed to get some time off in January, February, which is like quite rare for us nowadays. Like the first album, we had all the time in the world to make it, and then now everybody wants to see us live, which is really, really sweet. But it also means that we're on the road for 6 weeks at a time, 4 or 5 times a year. All last year, Joe has been coming up with lyrics and we've been coming up with song ideas and bits and bobs. But we just had literally no time to get into the studio until the start of this year.
Yeah.
And it's nice. It was a bit like a dam, it all came pouring out again, and it's all still there. We just let the floodgates loose for a few months.
Yeah,
We're
man.
back on the road again with the Pixies. We're trying to find a bit more time to keep cracking on, but there will be new music this year. That's an absolute fucking guarantee. But there's, we have to be all sneaky Pete's when it comes to the timings and that. But you will see something soon. Don't you
man.
panic.
Brilliant. And in terms of the sound, is it sounding similar, tweaking it a bit, changing it up?
Couldn't possibly tell you that information there.
Interpretive dance album on the way.
Hey, I'd pay for that.
I'm doing wild noise.
You'll be the only one.
It's beef jerky ASMR. That's the next.
That's the only one. Brilliant.
it.
Well, guys, thanks so much. Because you've got a full lineup of interviews, so we'll let you go and get ready for your next one.
Thank you,
Okay,
brother.
sir.
Thanks so much for your time. Good luck.
Really
with-
appreciate that, man. Nice one, bro.
Good show,
Catch
good
you
show.
soon.
Cheers.
Easy,
Bye.
man.
Bye.
Bye-bye.